Hey, I'm Alex Stark.
And I am Trevor L. Nelson, and we are here for Cinema Summit,
Today we're talking with our good friend Jonathan Levine about directing a low-budget feature.
which he did
He did.
for his feature.
Yeah.
That was low budget.
So,
Nailed it.
learning.
It's important for, especially when it's a smaller budget, it's important for the director to mentally prepare for what you're trying to do, and to know that you are going to be asked 1,000 questions every hour, and to know that it is a marathon, not a sprint. And I think that was probably the thing that was most surprising to me, was how many questions I had to always be answering from so many different people, whether they were in front of or behind the camera. And I think depending on what those questions are, you also learn how you need to prepare better, or how you prepare too much, and how you need to prepare less and be more open to the ebb and the flow, or whether if you're open to the ebb and the flow, maybe you hate that, so you need to make it clear before production starts that there will be no ebb and flow. This is how we're doing it. That was a shock to me. Like I said, again, because I was the writer, the producer, the director. I was the costume designer. You sort of have to drink I also wasn't drinking coffee at that time. That was probably a mistake. You just need to know that before you start doing this, that you're going to be pulled in 1,000 different directions, and it's going to be mentally exhausting. And another thing, you should probably, again, everyone always talks about, we did it, but it's kind of become, I think, over the years, kind of a cliche about, well, we have a fancy house, we'll just go shoot in the house, it'll all just take place in the house, and then we'll just all sleep in the house. I would not recommend sleeping in the same place you're shooting, because oftentimes, in one of the bedrooms that we shot in for the daughter was also the room that I was sleeping in. So I would literally fall asleep underneath a C-stand. So they'll be like, okay, good, that's a wrap, guys. And it's just laying down and falling asleep, and then waking up and starting to direct again. I would definitely figure out some way that you can leave the space where you're making the movie. One of the weird stories about the daughter was, because we were shooting nights, and it was a weird schedule. We would start at 4:30 in the afternoon and then wrap at actually, I guess we would start at 5:30 in the afternoon and then wrap, I guess at 5:30 in the morning. And then I would go and sleep, but the room I was sleeping in, there were no covered windows. It was just like a shade that was pulled down that just reflected the light. So I would only get 3 hours of sleep maybe, because the sunlight would just come blasting into the room. So it's important that you are looking out for yourself when you're making these things, because by the end of it, you feel like you're under some sort of weird psychological torture. It's because you're shooting where you're sleeping, but you can't sleep, and so you've been awake for 2 weeks for too long. So it's important to not forget about how to take care of yourself, because ultimately, if you are having a breakdown and wigging out, that will trickle down and make everybody else feel like they are that things are falling off the rails. I've been told that nobody knew that I was going crazy because of this, which I take as a compliment, which I'm surprised, because I just assumed that everybody was feeling this way. But it still, that really isn't, you're not being fair to yourself. So I think that it's important to know what you're in for, be prepared to answer a bunch of questions, and to take care of yourself in the process of doing this, and so it's okay to say that I want to sleep in a room with curtains. I think that in the end, people will understand that it's probably for the best, for everybody's benefit, that the director of the movie, gets some rest. So again, and also, it's also tricky, I think, too, for people when they get on the set, especially as directors, to understand that, you have this vision in your head for something, and when things aren't working out that way, you kind of have to very quickly reconcile, what you wanted it to be with what it actually is going to be. And that can be a very humbling and emotionally stressful process. That's why it's I encourage people to remain open on set and don't feel so locked into a plan. And that, don't think of it as a shot list as much as a moments list. These are moments that you're trying to capture. So it's it doesn't matter if you don't have the jib here, or you don't have the right type of lens here. It doesn't matter, because the only thing you want to do is communicate this moment. Hopefully you've done enough work on the script and on the story where you can just worry about capturing those moments in the most clear way that you have available to you, and then everything will work out just fine. But that could be pretty emotionally stressful, you know, when like you have this big plan and this big idea of how it should look, and then it's not quite working out that way. But you know, you got to roll with it, and you got to figure out how to make it work. And again, you just got to be prepared. That's going to be mentally taxing, and it is hard. It's incredibly hard. Anybody who has ever directed a movie has hopefully said that it is incredibly difficult and incredibly hard. And if they have said that it was the easiest thing they've ever done, then their movie probably isn't very good. No, maybe I shouldn't say that. Is that too bitchy?
If you super awesome love that video, make sure you check out our website, cinemasummit.com, for more videos like that. Also, like, comment, and subscribe below. We're going to keep sending you stuff whether you like it or not.
Yeah.